There are mysterious links that bind souls. So at the heart of one answers to the heart of another. One catches the ideas, the sentiments, the spirit of another. The Adventist Home, 455, paragraph 5. Over the last couple of days, we've been looking at the social needs. How man is naturally filled with a desire, a longing for companionship. How we just naturally link, how we just naturally connect. And how from these associations that we form throughout our whole life, we can either be built or destroyed. There are situations, times come, when those needs, the social needs, are not satisfied. I don't know if you've been there, but I know I have. And so with that said, welcome to chapter 3 of the Social Needs Edition. I'm lonely and I hate it. Loneliness is something that can get you, young and old, at any time, any age. Loneliness is basically the void in the heart, that longing for human interaction that seems to overbear when it hits. It can literally stop every part of your life. And if you felt it, you testify to that. You can fail to eat, you can fail to sleep. It puts within your mind thoughts, negative thoughts, that make you question the life that you live as a whole. There are many situations that one might face that will make them feel lonely. Leaving the country, for school, for work, a new environment could make you feel lonely. Loneliness can be felt in a home where somebody just feels like an outcast. It could be in a situation where a parent has remarried and you have a step parent and step siblings and you just feel like you're not fitting in. You can feel lonely. Loneliness can be felt after the death of a loved one. Loneliness can be felt after a breakup. You have literally lost your person, your sanctum. And you feel that disconnection with life because you don't have anywhere to turn to. Loneliness can come about when you feel like you just don't have enough friends, enough people to talk to. Or when you feel like everybody is busy about their life, about their business, and for you, they are your life. So when they aren't available, you're lonely. Loneliness can come about even when you're among friends. You will sit and compare your friends with yourself. And it will hit you that somebody looks better than you, dresses better than you, has better than you. And you begin to feel lonely. Loneliness can come about because of attacks at our insecurities. Somebody might say something to you, and that comment could hit a delicate place in your heart, and you will begin to feel lonely. You will begin to crawl back into a shelf, into a tight corner, and you will feel lonely. Loneliness could come about when you compare where you are in life with your peers. It happens as you grow. By 30, society expects you to have something done, something owned. And if you don't match that, you will begin to feel lonely, left out. Loneliness is a part of our life. It happens. And if you felt it, you will know that there's no fixed time when you get over it. It can last for weeks, for months, even for years. But there are certain ways that we can cope with loneliness. Loneliness should be a time when you feel lonely. Take it as a time to discover yourself, to find happiness within yourself. Now I know this is so much easier to say than to do, because if you've experienced loneliness, you will know that it eats at you. The pressures that go on in your mind when you're battling loneliness drain the body. Somebody will find themselves sleeping for longer hours in a day than they normally would when they are lonely. Loneliness puts you in a situation where you are a stranger in your own mind. Somebody can feel lonely on their own, in their own body. You find yourself in a situation where you're in your mind and all the negative thoughts are eating at you, that you cannot come out and speak to a friend. You don't know how they'll take it. Many people would want to come out and share their problems, but because people are scared of being viewed a certain way, they will not come out. I will not come out because I don't want to be seen as that person. Somebody may feel lonely after a traumatic experience, but will not come out and talk about it because they do not want to be seen by what happened to them. You know? So we need to come to a point as society where we are able to create an environment for people to come out and talk about their loneliness, talk about what's going on in their lives, and not feel judged, not feel that it will be shoved down their throats, this and that happened to them, that they are feeling A, B, C, D, you know? So there are coping mechanisms for loneliness. Some that I have used, some that I've been told people have used, and they help. So if you're going through this, try. Like I said, I know it eats at you. You have no power to do anything. You wake up, stay in your pajamas the whole day, maybe bath, maybe you won't even bath. It hits. But it can be overcome. It should be overcome. The first coping mechanism is hanging with friends. Social needs can be satisfied by social interaction, naturally. And if you've experienced loneliness, you will attest to the fact that when you're hanging with your friends in that moment, for those few hours, few minutes, the world seems great again. You can smile again. But unfortunately, they will leave and you'll be back in your box. So hanging with friends is good for a time. It's great. And if you're able to talk to somebody, a friend, and tell them, look, I'm lonely, I've been battling loneliness for a time, they can reach out. They will. I've been reached out to. I've reached out to people. And social interaction does make life a whole lot better. It is one of the beauties of life. Use the time of loneliness to discover your hobbies, what you like. Somebody could start to dance, to read, to write, to sing. A lot can happen in a time of loneliness because really, at the end of the day, it's you and yourself. So you need to come to a point where your happiness comes from within. So that even as you are happy and living your life, what you're bringing to the table where it's you and your friends, is a part of your happiness, your well-being in life, and enhance the group. So you need to come to a point where you're getting used to happiness on your own. And that is easy to say, but it can be easy to do if you apply yourself right. Meditation can equally be a coping mechanism, right? Take a walk, just go sit in nature. Many things can be done. Many things. All right? At times, just focus on something positive. I recently started watching on YouTube. I started watching the Golden Buzzer episodes, that's Britain's Got Talent, America's Got Talent. And to see somebody's joy when they get the golden buzzer, how their emotions just overwhelming, makes me think this is good. Life is great. Life can be great. Making others happy, seeing others happy goes a long way. Another coping mechanism involves reaching out to people. Life makes better sense when you know you're not the only one going through something. That is why AA meetings are success. That is why a widowed, a divorced individual is able to find some companionship with one in the same shoes. That is why kids coming from a single parent home are closer. You will relate better with somebody who you feel understands you. Reach out, talk to somebody. I remember after my very first breakup back in 2017, I was a mess. I was a whole mess. And I remember one of my boys reached out to me and told me, look, I may not get what you're going through right now, but speak to this person, speak to this other brother. He's going through the same thing. And I reached out to that boy, and right now we are the closest we've ever. We linked in our hearts. There is something about the human interaction that just satisfies that need. It cannot be overemphasized. And so if you have been lonely, if you have been misunderstood because of your loneliness, I get it. I understand. I've been there. I am you. You are me. And so I know what it's like to be told you're a trip. We invite you for chills. You don't come. You're a trip. I'm not a trip. I'm lonely. I don't know how I'm going to interact with people there. I don't want to find myself in a situation where everybody knows each other and I'm just there. It's harder for introverts than extroverts. Of course, extroverts feel the loneliness too. But it hits harder when you're naturally a reserved person and you go to a place where everybody knows each other and you're just left there on your own. I am not a trip. I'm lonely. I am not clingy. When I hit you up, blow up your phone, always wanting to chill, always seeming to nag, I'm not clingy. I'm lonely. I am not weird, always staring at you, always seeming to talk to myself. I'm really just trying to muster up the courage to walk up to you and to say something. But I shy away. It fails even before it even begins. I'm not weird. I'm lonely. There are a lot of situations that people find themselves in. And because of the loneliness that they have within them, the thoughts that are heavy on their minds, they are deemed a certain way when really in fact they are lonely. When we're a group of people and I just go quiet or my mood just switches out, don't call me moody. I'm not moody. I'm lonely. The thoughts hit and my whole mood is just changed. There's a lot going on in people's minds that if we took time to consider, if we took time to be careful with our words and not say things carelessly that will attack people's insecurities, we can make a change. We can make an environment where people are free to come out and express themselves. Loneliness is a terrible thing. I've been lonely and I hate it. Maybe you've been lonely. I know you hate it. I know I speak for many people when I say I'm lonely and I hate it. Instagram has a page, The Depression Chronicles 11, but I didn't feel like saying 11. It didn't feel cool. Anyway, that page has got posts that talk about anxiety, depression, mental health, how as somebody experiencing any of that, you can cope every day, how you can reach out as somebody who knows somebody going through that, what you can do for them. Check out that page. There are many pages, many support groups that help people going through depression, loneliness, and everything involved. I know there are times when the loneliness gets hard. Loneliness can bring about anxiety, depression. For some people, depression brings about anxiety, loneliness. For some people, everything comes at the same time. And life gets overbearing, hard to cope with. And there are times when you just question you living as a whole. Do not think of taking your life. My boy likes to say this, you are an anomaly. There is something about you, something so special that you had to exist at a particular time. The world needed your presence. You cannot water down how important you are and think to take your own life. It seems gloomy at times, I know. Some days are harder, the hardest. And other days, you're able to cope. But those dark days, the hardest days, really make life the worst to have. And I know there are times when you just want to pull the plug and end it all. Don't. We need you. Your presence is important. I love you and I want to see you thrive. And I know it might not seem like any light will come into your life at any time, but it will. It does get better. It really does. And so we need to come to a point where we are able to address these things. Be the friend that you would need. Be somebody who can help somebody who is in need. Social needs can be satisfied. It seems hard, I know, but it can be satisfied. From me and Social Needs Edition, we're signing out.